G'day, welcome. It's the first video of the new year. This is the 8th of January and I'm somewhere a lot greener than I usually am. I'm down in Esperance. So at the moment I'm on my way out to the farm so I can unload the truck that I brought down and we can get a few other things sorted out. So today I'm going to be spending a little bit of time with my brother George and we're going to help configure some Wi-Fi stuff for one of our neighbours. And yeah, we'll see what other jobs we've got and other things that we can have a look at out here, including some of the cattle down here and hopefully the feedlot. So it's 120 k's out from Esperance to the farm, so that's going to take me just a little bit over an hour, and 40 k's of it are gravel. Right, so I'm going to make my way out there and I'll see you when we get there. So I came down to Esperance just before Christmas because we do a family Christmas down here, and Danny held the fort at Prenty for a couple of days because Mum and Dad flew down and then flew back up. And at the moment they're pulling some cattle off Bloodwood, that bore that we're fixing up just before I came down. And unfortunately, like, Christmas was great and it was great to see the family and like everyone else, and it was the extended family, so you know, my cousins, aunts and uncles, but unfortunately Boxing Day was marred with some pretty serious bushfires around the district. So there were 2 lightning strike fires, and that's dry lightning, so lightning with no rain, and one landed out in a barley paddock in North Cascade. It's called the Fields Road incident, and another one landed down in the reserve near Ned's Corner Road, or Yarra Cup Ned's Corner Reserve. Now that fire was a lot harder to control, and it was difficult because it was in heavy bushland. So JH and I first went to the Fields Road fire, and we're involved in that, and because John's pretty involved in fire control, and I was just on a hose on the Thomas Brook fire truck, and we got that mostly under control. And then I'd stood down and we went back to John's place, went back to Thomas Brook, we're having some lunch, and then the Ned's Corner fire had escalated, so JH got called to that, and David, his brother, he went with him to that fire, and I, with Jasmine and the kids, went down to our farm, down to Clare Downs, and I was going to do the feedlot. And as I got down to the feedlot, I took a couple of photos, and you can see here that it was not a small fire at all. And by the time we got through, or before I even got to loading the tractor up with feed for the cattle, my brother George, who was over at the Ned's Corner fire, had sent a couple of messages saying that, no, scrap the cattle, get over here to this fire. So I drove over and I took a few photos along the way just so we could get a bit of a scope of the whole scene. And I jumped onto our heavy fire truck, which is a Army 6x6 Mac, and that's got a wicked amount of water. So we spent Boxing Day up until 10 in the evening fighting that, 10 in the evening dealing with that, and then we stood down and came back out at 7 the next day to do the mop up. Now unfortunately there was a life lost in that fire, and close friends of our family, so thoughts are with them. But so not the best Christmas season there, Yeah, I hope your New Year's and your Christmas was better, and looking forward to your comments and what you think about the farm down here.
Hey, just popping this in here because it's the best way to get your attention, and yeah, shameless plug to my mate Adam's website, A&M Colour Corrections, where right now you can go online and you can order yourself a sticker pack of Jack Out the Back stickers, and what they include is a pink, a black, a white, an orange, and a Printy Downs sticker. So the link is in the description below, and what we're going to be doing is using the proceeds from that to donate to the Kalgoorlie School of the Air PNC, but also to help growing the channel and making sure that we can provide a bit more merch. Like when we hit the 50,000 subs mark, we're going to be looking at releasing a black Jack Out the Back t-shirt with the logo on the front. So if you have a chance, jump on down below and check it out. Help support the channel, help us grow, help us get some more merch to you guys. And a big thanks to Adam at A&M Colour Corrections for his support through the channel through all the way through, but also to Brett's Embroidery for the merch that he's put together, and everyone else who's been helping grow and support the channel. We can't do it and we won't do it without you guys. So thanks everyone, and thanks for every comment in the live chat. It's always good to chat to you guys. Right, I'm going to disappear and you can get back to the farm.
All right, so George and I are down at the feedlot to do the feed out. We've got some stuff to unload off the back of the ute, off the trailer, before we get really into it. So I'm down here in the silage pit, and this is where we've got cut grass that's been fermented and stored, which is quite nice and sweet smelling. So I'm just going to check over the tractor and take it up so we can unload the ute. With the so plus the 900 of banks. So we'll take that to 23.20.
Alright, so now we're putting the silage into the mixer, which has got that rolled mixed grains and fava beans. So while George is doing that, I'm keeping an eye on how much we've got. So we've got 3 in there at the moment, and we're aiming for a total of 6.6. So that's 6,600 kilograms. So this silage is, pretty sure this year it was barley. Yeah, this year it was all barley. And when it's stored like this, it keeps for quite a long time, but it maintains its moisture, and the smell is just absolutely incredible. And it's like crack to the cattle. They love it. It's like having premium feed. There's a way to store your high quality grain feed for a long time. So that's why we cover it with plastic and weigh it down with the tires. And we're in a pit here that's been dug with an excavator. So this large open silage is, one for scale. We do have bale wrappers, so silage wrappers, but for doing this, it's much more economic to do it in the large pit. We do get a bit of wastage, and that does happen in any operation. If we're in a concrete pit, which my grandfather and dad, they designed one or built one back in Wagen back in the 60s or 70s, I think it was the 60s, you get a lot higher efficiency in collection. So we're at about 3.8, so we'll have a look and see how many kilos he's getting per scoop. You can see the grain, the rumen mix, and the bicarb soda rolling and mixing to the top of the mixer, and so it's getting spread nice and evenly through the whole load of grass, and that's to make sure that the animals do take it up. So we're at 3.8 before. We're at 4.3 now. So he's getting almost 500 kilos a scoop if he's doing well. So he should have 3.5 to 4 scoops to go. Let's have a look now. $4.9 or I'll jump. $4.9 now, and you're getting between 350 and 500 a scoop.
Okay, this one will be about 700-800 kilos.
Just about 5.8, so it's somewhere around 5,750.
That was 800 kilos, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's 800. Yeah, 6'4", so like 200 kilos. Six, 6'5". 6'6", got it. We've been wet for the last bloody 18 months. Yeah, and it's drying up now. So that'll be just those buggly things. Yeah, okay. So we'll find out probably later this afternoon what he's got. Traffic. Yeah, no, it's dried up, so only issue was that the yards didn't have the bars across it to stop the camels. And camels came in and just dominated the water. So, fucking isn't ideal. Still leaving a few beans behind. Alright, so we finished up at the feedlot there and we had a quick chat with our stock agent from Elders, Nick, about the movement of some of our cattle, ones that we're going to be sending off at the end of the month, as well as any we can move on earlier, because we've got a few more up at the station to bring down. And then after that, George and I headed off to one of our mates' places to go help out with the setting up some Wi-Fi around the workshop and the corners, because the cell phone signal down here is pretty terrible. And so what they'd done is they had gotten a Starlink unit, and what we helped with is setting up a Ubiquiti Dream machine and then a couple of wireless access points around the workshop, but then also using some of the Air Max stuff, so a light AP and a couple of nano beams to shoot the signal down to the quarters, the cottage and to the house as well as give good coverage at the workshop, which means that during harvest and seeding, when it's busy down here, there's 100% reliable communications at those points. So it was a pretty good day, and it was it's good to use some of the stuff I've learnt with the tech up at the station down here on the farms. So I'm just on my way back into town, and yeah, that's kind of just a little bit of a look around the feedlot and showing you a bit of where the cattle end up from up at the station. So I'm going to go back into town and have a good night's rest. So thanks for joining me on this little bit of the day out at the farm, and yeah, wasn't a lot of filming, but there was a lot of catching up and talking about the plans and strategies for the farm and the station going into the future. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you around.